Hello friends, good morning. I welcome you to the class of object-oriented programming using C++. I am Namit Khanduja from Gurukul Kangdi Vishwavidyalaya, Hardwar. So today we will be discussing what is memory allocation and different types of memory allocation. C++ supports three types of memory allocation: automatic memory allocation, static memory allocation, and dynamic memory allocations. In next slide, we will see what is automatic memory allocation. Modern languages are smart about giving memory to a variable only when necessary. When we use the term allocate, we indicate that the variable is given an area of memory to solve its value. A variable is deallocated when the system reclaims the memory from the variable. So it is no longer has an area to store its value. So let us discuss one by one. Automatic memory allocation. The most common variables we use are local variables and function parameters within functions. All of the local variables and parameters taken together are called its local storage or just its locals. When a function is called, memory is allocated from all of its locals. In other words, when the flow of control hits the starting braces for the function, all of its locals are allocated memory. See this example. Parameters such as number and local variables such as result in the above example both count as locals. The only difference between parameters and the local variables is that parameters start out with a value copied from the caller while local variables start with initialized value from the user. The memory for the locals continues to be allocated so long as the thread of control is within the owing function. Local continue to exist even if the function temporarily passes off the thread of control by calling another function. The locals exist undistributed through all of this. Finally, when the function finishes and exits, its locals are deallocated. This makes sense in a way. How could the code even refer to them? The names like number or result only make sense within the body of square anyway. Once the flow of control leaves that body, there is no way to refer the locals even if they were allocated. Static memory allocation. Static memory allocation happens for static and global variables. Memory for these types of variables is allocated once when your program is run and persists throughout the life of the program. Both static and automatic memory allocation have two things in common. First, the size of the variable or array must be known at compile time. Secondly, memory allocation and deallocation happens automatically. Next is dynamic memory allocation. There may be situations in which we may not know how much memory might be required. Like we may want to use a string to hold someone's name, but we do not know how long their name is until they enter it. Or we may want to read in a number of records from disk, but we don't know in advance how many records there are. Dynamic memory allocation is a way for running programs to request memory from the operating systems when needed. This memory does not come from the programmer's limited stack memory. Instead, it is allocated from a much larger pool of memory managed by the operating system called the heap. Dynamic memory allocation requires two criteria. First, creating the dynamic space in memory. Second, storing its address in a pointer so that space can be accessed. Dynamic memory is allocated using operator new. New is followed by the data type specifier and if a sequence of more than one element is required. The number of these within square brackets are written. It returns a pointer to the beginning of a new block of memory allocated. For example, this is the syntax. This is the syntax. New is the keyword and type is the data type. When this is executed, a memory of type, the memory of size of type is allocated by the compiler on the heap. New keyword returns the pointer through which we can access the memory, and by dereferencing it we can use the value of the memory in that area. Similarly, we can create a request for dynamic memory for other data types like double, long, etc. Next example. Now here we have created a block of 5 integers. If we want to have more than one number or if we want to have an array, we can use this type of memory allocation where the size is written in square brackets and this size can be read from the system or by the user at runtime. The delete operator does not actually delete anything. It simply returns the memory being pointed to back to the operating system. The operating system is then free to reassign that memory to another application. The pointer variable still has the same scope as before and can be assigned a new value just like in another value. Dangling pointer and its effects. A pointer that is pointing to the deallocated memory is called a dangling pointer. See, here we have, this is a small program. Here we have created a pointer which is assigned using new int, dynamically assigning a integer value to the pointer. Here we are putting the value in the memory location. Next line we have deleted this pointer. So now this memory is allocated by that integer has been given back to the operating system. After this deletion, again we are trying to dereference it. This is called the dangling pointer. Here this PTR is not pointing to any memory. After the deletion, the PTR is not pointing, this pointer is not pointing to any memory. And again, dereferencing it will cause undefined behavior. And second is again deleting the deleted pointer. This type of statements also lead to undefined behavior. Next, bugs due to the improper usage of pointers. Here are some list of bugs which may occur when you use pointers improper, like buffer overflow, memory leaks, null dereferencing, double deleting. Example of double deleting you have just seen in the last slide. The most important of this is memory leaks. So let us understand what is memory leaks. This function, the function do something, allocates an integer dynamically, but never frees it using delete because pointers variables are just normal variables. When the function ends, pointer will go out of scope. And because pointer is the only variable holding the address of the dynamically allocated integer, when pointer is destroyed, there are no more references to the dynamically allocated memory. This means the program has now lost the address of the allocated memory. As a result, this dynamically allocated integer cannot be deleted. Memory leak happens when your program loses the address of some bit of dynamically allocated memory before giving it back to the operating system. When this happens, your program can delete it because it no longer knows where it is. The operating system also can use this memory because the memory is considered to be still in use by your program. I hope you get this. Basically, memory leak is not freeing up the memory after the work has been finished. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to my channel and post comments, suggestions and any queries if you have. Thank you.